This episode is brought to you by BigGreasyButts.horse.
God
Go
damn
to
it, James.
BigGreasyButts.horse and get all the greasy butts for a discount.
Dot horse is my favorite dot.
Are you into equestrian butts?
No.
BigGreasyButts.horse. That concludes our sponsorship.
That's all there was.
We're ending that sponsorship.
Yeah, we're cutting them off.
We appreciate it, but please stop sending us pamphlets.
Please.
Those were the scariest JPEGs I've ever seen.
Ever. I have nothing to sell, but I got a lot of money from that ruin.
Yeah.
We were at 40,000. We were like 12,000 when we went in there.
Sure.
Now we're at 174,000.
I saw a on message.
I think actually I'm gonna buy
Oh, people are buying some of my shit on eBay. Not the big ones though.
I'm getting it. This is the thing that gives you the.
Oh, you're gonna get a joint.
This is the thing that gives you the. Yep. But yeah, that's the part that lets us have three Buster parts at a time.
How many we want.
Equipped. I can get that auto fire unit equipped now. Is it necessary? No, but I did anyway.
We're gonna do it anyway. I hope you want us to do it because we're doing it.
That's what I'm doing. This just in. This
that we're doing.
Newsflash, bitch.
Did you see that new Jon Stewart roast of Fox News?
No, I didn't. I wanted to watch it.
I have not seen. We can watch it. I have not
Yeah, let's
actually
watch it together,
seen
yeah.
it myself, but I did read the summary of what it is. He's basically calling out what Fox News does as the same thing that Fox News accuses the Obama administration of Benghazi.
Yep.
Misleading information.
Yep.
It seemed pretty good. It was like a 3-sentence description. I'm like, I'm gonna miss you, Stewart.
I am. I get that you weren't like a super big fan of him or anything, but I kind of miss Craig Ferguson because he was always fun to watch if I was up late at night.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was fine. He wasn't one I happened to watch when he was.
Well, he was
live.
on really late, and I was usually tired. But there were times, like in the summertime, I'd watch him because I was usually up pretty late.
What's the name of the British guy?
I don't care.
He kind of does the same thing.
The guy's taking over for him.
Not taking over. Like he's doing one already. He's kind of a British sounding
I don't
guy.
know.
He's like the only other guy I can think of.
Graham Norton?
Maybe he's like the only other guy.
No,
that
there's a guy on the BBC, Graham Norton. He's really good.
Okay, because that's what I'm saying. There's only like one other person that
Yeah.
does what Stewart and Colbert did that I can think
Sort
of.
of, yeah. Graham Norton's talk show's a little more raunchy though, which is fun.
Raunchier than Colbert and Stewart.
Yes.
Well,
Graham Norton doesn't give a fuck, and he's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is British. He doesn't
Yep.
care. Listen, they have the mightiest navy in the weight.
Da-na-na! Da-na-na! That was the ESPN theme. What
We're now promoting Disney, apparently.
God.
Did you know that Disney owns ESPN?
I guess they do, don't they?
They do. They have, like, almost the whole time, I think.
Weird. Don't know what that's about.
It makes money.
I suppose.
I think Disney's in it to just
Woo!
buy everything at this point.
I would be too.
If you could, yeah.
Disney wants to own the world. Google's like, not if I own it first.
It is.
Ooh, look, there's one on the horizon.
kind of
Look
a
at that.
race. A race of who could be the master of the world. A master race, if you will.
Why did you have to do that?
I didn't say it was right. Listen, I'm talking about giant corporations. I can't use a phrase referring to evil.
No.
Damn it. These rules that I don't make, they're hard to follow. What's over there? Is there a little item or something?
Bonus ruin. I
Oh,
do have
boy,
some.
more ruins.
I do have some bad news about these sub ruins, though.
Are they bad? Your face is bad. And I don't just mean like your face is bad kind of God damn it! The episode should just end there. Like a really short episode. It's just like, God damn it, click. So after we get the 4th key,
Yep.
is the next part of the finale?
It's like
you
the
unlock the big.
It's like the I guess you call it like the act break boss, and there's like another segment of cutscenes, and then it's like the last dungeon / part of the game.
Okay. took a little bit of.
So we're getting towards the last act. I just kind of want to explore around a
Yeah,
little.
I'm not trying to be like countdown.
Like,
I'm just
it
trying
doesn't
to be
have-
informed.
This is one of the reasons why I like Mega Man Legends 1 better. It doesn't have like the majesty of like, you know how all the ruins in Legends 1 connected?
Yes,
It doesn't have that.
it was probably
There's
a lot
no
of work.
system where you could go around everywhere.
It's
And that
kinda-
was really cool.
It was cool, but it was probably way more work than it was worth.
Probably. But it was kind of fun to explore those. Like, you could explore all those ruins and map them out for as long as it would have taken you to do, like, a couple sub-ruins. Uh-oh. Whoops! Watch out for those giant fish.
Are they bigger than the previous fish? Are these
They're
new
bigger
fish?
than regular fish.
New fish? Newfoundland? It's the world.
That land isn't so new anymore.
It's not so. It's kind of a bad name.
They really dated themselves with that name. Ah! Nothing there. Nothing here. We're gonna leave. We're gonna leave the fish room. This is the closer ruins music from Legends 1. Yeah, there's not much and it's just kind of creepy. But whereas the closer ruins work because of how dank and spooky that place was,
Dank ass chronic.
this place is just kind of annoying. This is why I'm just trying to get it done. So that we never have to come back here again. Let me kill you, spider. No one told you to do that, spider.
I really like this thing that Kotaku runs called Ask Dr. Nerdlove.
Yeah?
They're actually pretty decently written relationship advice columns.
That's cool.
This one's about a guy who's in an abusive relationship with his wife, where his wife basically is the most antisocial. He's had to cut ties with almost everyone for her
Dang.
happiness, but she's not happy.
Ow.
She yells at him when he has a job for being away from her,
Yikes.
and then she yells at him when he doesn't have a job for being lazy.
So, like,
Controlling.
yeah.
Like,
Like neat, but wants everyone else to be a neat, or...
basically, well, she has particular paradigms of what she wants, and making him acquiesce to everything,
Yeah.
basically. And they're not reasonable, obviously.
That's super not cool.
And yeah, the advice is just divorce her right now.
Yeah.
This is because like he can't see his family, he has no friends practically because he's cut.
But with the
them.
things we talked about last a few episodes ago,
Yes, what?
isn't he more likely statistically to get
There's no children as far as I know.
financially ruined in the divorce, though, is the thing?
Well, they have no money because
Yeah.
she's not letting him work.
That's
so I don't
true.
know. I've not heard that.
But I mean,
before.
I would agree that's an unhealthy relationship that needs to be broken off, but
Especially, I mean, if this has been going on for a while, you can't fix it.
yeah.
I love this phrase, though. I've never heard this. Love bombing, where someone endears you and lavishes you with praise and stuff, so it's easier. They make it easier for you to commit quicker
Yeah.
than you otherwise would, and they essentially trap you.
Right.
She has mood swings. Might be bipolar.
Could be.
And not that it's really related, but also
Treasure box.
she also
not real.
is having issues getting a job because she's dyslexic.
Right.
Which is, you know, an obstacle.
It is, yeah.
But they can't pay for rent or anything now.
Eek.
So it's like, yeah, this isn't working.
You just gotta make it work.
Like I
somehow.
personally, I think that our country has an issue of divorce where it's like, oh, an obstacle happens.
It's still kind of a stigma.
An obstacle.
I will agree.
Well, I'm just saying the
Yeah.
way a lot of people treat it is like, oh, an obstacle happened, let's give up. And I think that's wrong. But I also don't think that you should, like, certain religions and stuff are like, don't divorce ever, just figure it out forever. Like, that's not healthy either.
Yep.
There is a fine point, but I mean, you find that fine point by working on it.
Yep. Ha. Fuck you, spider. You're gonna get dealt with now. How does it feel? Robo-Rantula?
Doesn't feel good.
Gold Robo-Rantula? Robo-Rantula! See what else is trying to get me. Oh, more of you.
Oh, she also has some level of mental illness and depression, and has threatened things to keep him in this relationship.
Yuck.
Which is classic abuser
Yeah.
tactic.
So again, it comes back down to, you know, anybody can be abused in any number of ways.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a you know, even though most of these situations have nothing to do with me, but I find them pretty good reading. So feel free to
This looks good.
look at that.
Yeah. I'll look into it. I mean, my issue is just being generally... I have other issues with dating and relationships. Namely that I can't start or hold on to one. And I know I need to do more maturing as a person before I'm ready for that, so...
Sure. I can help. I'll stick you in a bottle and then I'll open you up several years later and you'll have matured.
That... Barrel. You want to put me in a barrel first. They don't mature in the
Well,
bottles.
now you're just being... Listen, forget it.
I'm just pointing out.
Forget it. Okay?
No, I'm not saying it won't work.
Oh.
Just use a barrel instead.
No, you know what? You can just keep living your life, learning life experiences, and becoming a deeper person. I was gonna help you by sticking you in an airtight, small device.
I guess I gotta say no to that now.
What makes a game challenging and not just bullshit?
Yeah. Because this comes up a lot, I know, whenever we play games together.
I would say is
bullshit.
I would say it comes down to how much at fault is the player for things not going their way and them being punished.
Yeah.
So like,
I want to be the guy, for instance. Bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like if I've been
If it
thinking
comes
about
out of
this.
memorization, or
I mean, I don't think memorization's non-valid. I just think it's weak level design.
yep.
Like it's come up in my mind because we've been playing Revelations 2, which each chapter has had one part that I decidedly am not a fan of, even though I like the rest of the game a lot. And I think it comes down to that, like, if you have a segment where like the player is supposed to do badly the first time or lose until they figure it out, like, I know that's kind of what old school gaming's based on. It's like, oh, you lost,
Yeah.
and now next time you'll get a little bit further.
Yeah.
I think that's separate from like this encounter is almost unwinnable your first time because we're obscuring information or something like that. I think that's what
Gotcha.
the difference is.
Where would something like the lava drinking giant Reaver bot fall? The one that we just fought way back when.
I'm not a fan of that because there's like that's the obscuring information thing where it's like they don't give you any indication after several minutes of gameplay. Like they don't just spoon fit it right away. Like Mega Man, you can't kill him. Like don't do that. But like.
Yeah, like when he starts drinking, Roll says, "What's he doing? He appears to be regenerating or something."
Yeah.
As he's drinking the lava, so then you, I guess, reason from that. And
But
again,
that
I figured out on my own as a kid.
Yeah,
It took a
it
while.
was like 5 or 10 minutes of combat, and then you got a kind of vague hint. Still, it wasn't even just like roll at like 5 or 10 minutes in. They should be like, Mega Man, I don't think you can fight him right now.
Yeah.
I don't say that right away
Yeah.
because you're taking too much away from the player. But like, at a certain point, you do have to guide the player. Like that's why there's fascinating conversations about like how do you get a player to look up. Like that was one of the problems in Portal's development. Is like I don't know how to get a player to look up unless we put an arrow that says look up. I don't want to do that. One of the ways that they do in a lot of games to keep you going in the right direction is light sources.
Yeah.
I don't know. Alan Wake's a good comparison for that because Alan Wake's already about light, but like that's kind of part of his level design.
Yeah.
A lot of scary games or whatever do that.
Right.
Shooters do that a lot. Whether it's a light or a door or something, but like guiding the player with visual elements is important. Jeez.
Fuck these guys. We're just gonna leave
Not only do
and
they
come
lock
back.
onto your like flailing corpse,
God damn.
you're gonna die. If this
I have an
keeps
energy
up.
canteen. It's okay.
No, you're gonna die.
I'll just come. If I come back, the other enemy won't respawn. Using the Hydro Jets doesn't trigger them, it seems. So I can keep doing that. Like as long as I'm not directly running, I can actually go along
you can't
with
kill
this.
them?
Yeah, you can.
It's just not worth it.
They're too fast in the
Nice.
water.
Whoa, he's trying to get you through the wall. Not great.
Yep.
Is that all in this room?
That's all there is to here, yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
It's okay. There are enemies with health cubes I'm gonna run for. Trying to find where everything is. Okay, there's nothing there.
What about you? What's your definition of bullshit versus challenging? A good challenge.
Well, something that's glitchy goes a long way to being bullshit.
Where
What?
the
Like that thing, that's not a pattern.
where the challenge again? Then that's what I was saying is like how much of that was you at fault? Like you didn't make a timing or a jump proficiently.
I think the water has something to do with it too.
That's what I'm saying. Is the game took away your ability to do things successfully to some degree, and that goes onto the bullshit scale.
Yeah. I mean, I think the bullshit parts of this game largely come from the fact that the underwater ruins are fucking time vampires. Oh, fuck me in the keyhole. I forgot about these. Thank God for my missiles.
Yeah, you're fine.
It's just now we're fighting them underwater. And these things weren't even fun the first time.
It's going by pretty quickly this time though. 'Cause your stuff's better.
Yep. I'm stronger now. Ah, oh, damn it. I forgot that you can do that.
As exciting as this boss fight was the first time.
Oh, damn it. They'll try and charge you.
Money. Oh, you're gonna miss him.
Don't care. I'm all about killing these guys, actually.
You're all about the megala kill.
Yep. The good news is we're close to the end. We're close to the refractor here. The treasure of this place.
You just gonna sell the refractor? Is that how it works?
Yep. Pretty much. See, you can see the little robots inside of them now.
I can.
There's not really ways to tell if they're invincible, though, other than
They look a lot like refractors
them
themselves.
spinning. That padded helmet really helps. Okay, now that one's in overdrive. Oh, they let out little bombs now, too. He'll stop eventually. I have a hyper cartridge and some energy canteen I can dip into. The missiles work on him when he's invincible.
To put it in more vague terms, if because like occasionally I have a pretty low tolerance for difficulty compared to a lot of gamers. But like, you know, I've had challenges where like it would take 5 or 10 attempts and I was still having fun because I was still making progress or whatever. And you know, this is a vague like, you know, when controls feel right or something kind of description. But it's like, is the 5 or 10 attempts like torture, or did I feel like, you know, I was getting stronger and better at the game, and by the end I felt I earned it?
Yeah.
And that's a subjective measurement, really, but.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, is the effort worth the reward? Like, you know, if I fought all of those, and all I got for it was, like, a fucking buster part or something, I would feel cheating. But here you get a refractor that I think you sell for, like, 100,000 zenny.
This is the S.
Yep, and this is the last, like, sub-ruin big refractor of the game. So I'm going to sell it for, like, 100,000, and I'll have close to 300,000 zenny by the end of it.
Didn't one of those cost like $1 million though?
It did, but I really don't need that.
I know. I'm like, how are you supposed to get $1 million? Like, you've done almost all the side shit.
Yep, you can. Well, you just grind for zenny, really.
Fuck that.
And I'm not going to do
How much would you
that.
have to grind?
A bunch.
Like a bunch.
And that's to say the least. I mean, to max out the laser weapon, you need a couple million zenny to max it out. I don't know how much total, but it's a lot. And I'm not doing the laser this time. Because, again, I don't super need it because of the mobility that this weapon offers, and it's pretty strong. we've seen that. Map. So we can't auto-nav here, but... Okay, we'll go... Yep, just gotta keep going south. As much as we can.
I don't want to go south.
It's okay, we're almost done here.
South
sucks.
South
South can go home.
I mean, it's warmer than here.
That's true. That's true.
God damn it, other person.
What?
I don't know, it's just what this one says. Did I write this?
I think maybe.
It kind of looks like my handwriting. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Well, I haven't been here. I don't know either.
I think that's from the Sunshine Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Hey, there's a treasure chest in here. What's in here? I wonder.
No, these are winners, Jim. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yep. Oh, just some mechanic notes. Roll can use those for weapon development, even though I pretty much have the weapon I'm going to
use those to make a new toaster. Bad fantasy or sci-fi novels.
So what do you look for in a good one? Let's start with that. What do you look for in like a good sci-fi fantasy kind of novel?
See, this is difficult because I don't, start new books or anything very often anymore.
Yeah.
Not that I don't read, but like, it's not. I mean,
you wrote a fantasy trilogy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It was the first novels I wrote, so I don't know how good they are at this point. I'm sure they have issues. Even by my own reckoning. I guess in terms of uniquely to those genres, I think there has to be a fantastical element to it that's drawing to the audience. Like, oh, I wish the world was kind of like this, or that's a really unique subversion of the real world. But it has to also be super relatable.
Yeah.
If you don't still identify with the characters or the main conflict to some degree, like, it's still a bad work.
Yeah.
Like,
see, in my idea of like really bad fantasy or sci-fi, I've talked about this with my story within a story, The Sword of Borthiakk. That I mentioned before.
That's excellent.
That's excellent writing. I think where a lot of the really bad fantasy comes into play is trying too hard to be like other kind of fantasies. There's kind of a market for what they call erotic fantasy genre. And you, of course, know what that is. Sword of Borthiakk kind of parodies that a little bit. I'm talking about this like it's this thing that exists, but it doesn't.
You should make it exist.
I want to make it exist. I want to have like a short story where like my character Natalie goes to a book signing because her friend drags her there, and she somehow obtains an actual replica Sword of Borthiakk that then becomes hers for the rest of the story.
Is it just a dildo? Like a pointy,
that's the metaphor. So in the story, it's called
in the story, it's definitely a penis.
Yeah, in the story of the Sword of Borthiakk, the fantasy is that there's a great hero who's trying to liberate the world from foul wenches who are not only trying to engulf the world in their black magic, but also steal the Sword of Borthiakk for himself. So they're trying to tempt him away from his sword. And it's all a very thinly veiled... The sword is his penis. It's a thinly veiled allegory for that. I think that when you have a novel...
Thin or thick?
Thick. Very thick. It's a broadsword, you see. I think when stories... There's a couple of things. One, I think it's kind of bad sci-fi or at least uninteresting fantasy when the stories like over-explain things. Like, I don't want to spend 10 pages reading about how green the grass in this field is. That doesn't appeal to me. Now, you can spend a page talking about food. I don't care about that. I like food.
Yeah, that is... he doesn't do it often enough. I did read the first five... Five? Yeah. Game of Thrones books. Or A Song of Fire and Ice, whatever. Yep. And he does do pretty good descriptions of food. And I'm like, I'm not sure what that is, but I'll try it.
It's like, it sounds tasty.
I love food porn.
You would kind of like Toradora. Toradora has a lot of bento box porn in it.
If there could be more food porn, I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
That was one of the things when I was talking to my mom about what happened. She's like, remember, listen, don't not eat. And I was like...
Would never dream of it.
I should not eat.
But you can't do that. But anyway, I think when... good literature should take its readers seriously, and I think really bad fantasy doesn't. It tries to, rest on you know,
it's selling off of a cover and stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, those faces.
Like,
look
and
bad.
that kind of goes for really bad, like, misogynistic storytelling in general. That you really can't try and sell a book off of something like that. You know, a book isn't sold by its descriptions of areolae.
Well, you say misogynistic. Yep. Would you consider a book geared towards women? I don't know if they're actually written by women or not, but geared towards them over stereotypical, like, you know what I'm saying? Those romance books.
Those can still be misogynistic. Because look at Twilight. Well, actually, that's kind of reverse almost, because Bella's the one who's emotionally abusive and manipulative in that one.
I think.
And dishonest. 50 Shades of Grey. That's what I was thinking. See, yeah, 50 Shades of Grey was a Twilight fan fiction. Now that was written by a woman. That is a very misogynistic book. In terms of how it treats.
They're both written by women.
Yeah,
but
in terms of just how it treats the relationship and how the female lead is treated in that.
Yeah.
And that's
she's basically,
and it portrays that as like a thing that's a healthy. It's portrayed as a healthy.
It's a
relationship
weird thing. I've seen a couple works now, because this one's not about sex as near like as the other ones, but like the Divergent, Insurgent, like that trilogy. I watched the first
Divergence.
Movie. Yeah, Divergence is the Divergence is the first one. I think. Whatever. I watched the first movie of that. Chelsea's read the books.
Yep.
And like that's another book series by a woman where like the main character is a female that like the constant thing is they don't stand up for themselves. They don't make decisions. They don't respect themselves. They just go with things because it's easier. Like it's kind of disgusting.
Yeah.
Like it's not that there's not anything interesting or good about that.
That's kind
series,
of a literary
like,
trend, it seems like now.
That's fucking gross. Like
a little bit.
I will put up more stupid ass vampire, werewolf, whatever porn over this like multi-author trend of like fuck woman written by a woman. I mean anyone, but like that's the trend specifically. Like what the fuck? What are we buying?
I'm maxing out my life gauge finally, getting some extra packs for my thing. Oh. Dang it, that's tempting, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna try and not get hit by fire and ice damage. That'll be my strategy.
Try not to do it.
Parts, what do we got? We get Link Armor Omega, equip it, and then try and sell it back. But yeah, I mean, there's kind of a trend in storytelling with, you know, where it's trying to sell the female characters like compelling, strong characters, and then they're really just not. You know, it puts them in a position where they have to either compromise or actively harm themselves in order to, you know, achieve their goals. And it doesn't have to be like that.
It shouldn't.
Shouldn't have to.
I mean,
I don't know. It's one of the things. It's one of the things that when I'm writing, I try to be mindful of.
I mean, in the real world, things get dirty like that. But I don't think that's something we need to promote or broadcast in our media.
Yeah.
Especially two of these three books are for, and I'm gonna sound like an old person, impressionable teenage girls.
Yeah.
So good job on that. I mean, I'm sure the teenage girls are also reading 50 Shades because it's popular and stuff.
Yes, they are. I can confirm that they are.
I'm just saying that wasn't necessarily geared towards them like the other two were.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Jim, how many students have told you they're reading that? That's
3.
That's 5 too many.
Yep. But yeah. Prevents all fire damage from enemy attacks. I could get that, but I'm not going to. Parts. I'm going to buy a part. What do I want? Power Blaster sounds kind of good. I'd like some more rapid. Down for that. What?
So setting this up, this is when we were talking about that abusive relationship. So the beginning of this is not funny, but the way this person worded it is funny. The thing that's not funny is some of the people in the comments are victim blaming him.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, it's your fault. You got into this. But the way this guy worded it is you can't slip and accidentally date someone. You don't whoops fall into marriage.
So, yep.
Like that's funny wording, but come on, guys. Let's not victim blame.
Yep.
Regardless of gender or anything.
Yeah. It's true. All right, I'm gonna save this right here, and then we're going to go ahead and go to our next destination to get the last
so
key.
now we're gonna get the key.
Yep.
I want that key, Mega Man.
All right. Well, we're
I
gonna
want
get
those puppies now.
We're going to get it after this.
I'm